A lot of people want to know if they can put a pier on their waterfront property. Watch this video. I'm going to tell you 3 things that you're going to need to know before you can answer that question. What's up, everybody? I'm Rob Schou. I'm a realtor here in Southern Maryland with EXP Realty, and I'm here to help you make your move to Southern Maryland so much easier. So if you want to talk to me, go ahead and use that contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make this move so much easier. You can also scroll down to the first comment, click on the link, and it'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your home buying needs. All right, so like I said in the beginning, today what I'm going to tell you about is how to know if you can actually put a pier on your property. Now, in the state of Maryland, when you're putting a pier on a property, you're really dealing with 3 different agencies. One is going to be the Maryland Department of Environment. 2 is going to be the Army Corps of Engineers, and number 3 is going to be your county that you're building the pier in. So for me, we'll use St. Mary's County as an example today, but each county is going to have different regulations. So when you're looking to build a pier, one of the most important things you need to know, especially in St. Mary's County, is what amount of waterfront you have. So at a minimum, to not involve other neighbors, and we'll talk about that in a second, you're probably going to want about 60 feet to about 100 feet of waterfront. So if you're looking at lots that have that 40 feet of waterfront, 50 feet of waterfront, 20 feet of waterfront, 15 feet of waterfront, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and there's going to be some more steps you're going to need to get a pier on that property if there's not already one there. Now, this boils down to something called riparian rights, and riparian rights means you have the ability in Maryland, if you live on a tributary of the Chesapeake Bay, to access the water from your property. And that access can come through a pier, it can come through other means, but most people call that access through a pier. Since you have riparian rights, other people around you have riparian rights as well. You basically can't infringe on their riparian rights. That's where the water frontage comes in. So what they try to do, especially in St. Mary's County, is with your waterfront, they're going to take your waterfront property lines and draw them straight out into the water, and those are called lateral lines. And you have to be, for most cases, 25 feet off of each one of those lateral lines. Now, those lateral line setbacks vary from county to county in Maryland, so it really is on a case or county by county basis how close you need to be. But St. Mary's County is one of the ones that has the biggest setback requirements in the state of Maryland at 25 feet. So that means you need to have at least 50 feet just to meet the setback requirements, and you're going to need at least another 5 feet, probably 10 feet if you want to put a boat lift or an L added to that 50 feet. So 60 feet is kind of the minimum without having to have too much of a headache. And then 100 feet can even be more of a cushion for you if you want to put L's or T's at the end of the pier and boat lifts. Now, there is a caveat. The way that the property lines enter the water to make the lateral lines can make a big difference. If the property lines enter the water parallel, that amount of 100 feet is just going to go on for eternity out into the water, and you're going to have 100 feet. If they kind of close in on each other, you're going to have less water frontage as you go out, and if they open up, you're actually going to have more area to build as you go out. Now, there is one caveat to the setback requirements. In each county, you can actually apply to the Board of Appeals for a variance to those setback requirements. And it can be a lengthy process. It can add 4 months on to the already lengthy process of getting a pier permit, but it can be worth it in the end. Our personal property that we have only has 50 feet of waterfront, so we couldn't fit within that 25-foot setback in St. Mary's County. But we filed for a variance through the Board of Appeals, and because every other neighbor has that same kind of pier, is able to have a pier on their waterfront, and people with riparian rights in similar situations were able to have a pier on their waterfront, we were granted a variance away from those lateral line setbacks. So it's something that can happen, but it does take more legwork, which is going to cost more money, especially if you're paying someone else to do it. I'm glad I went through the process. I learned a lot. I feel like I can help a lot more people understand what it means to get a pier permit and what it means to get a pier built. And I feel like I'm better informed about the whole process as well. So once you've decided on the property, you've figured out its lateral lines, you've done all this kind of legwork where you feel pretty confident you're going to be able to put in the pier, this is where you're going to have to start doing the legwork with all 3 of those government agencies. So the next thing you're going to do is either you're going to do it yourself, or you're going to hire the pier builder, or if the pier builder has a person they work with, to start start drawing up plans for the pier. Now you might need a plat done for the property as well if you don't have the property line boundaries clearly labeled, because the Maryland Department of Environment and other agencies require a pretty detailed plat when you're building a pier. So the very first step is pick that pier builder, pick someone to start getting that information for you, and start planning out the pier. Now this process is not short. Plan on months to get this done if you're building a brand new pier, because what's going to happen is it's going to have to get approved by the Army Corps of Engineers, it's going to have to get approved by the Maryland Department of Environment, and at the very last stage it's going to get approved by the county. And after it gets approved by the county, this is when the builder is going to come in and start building. The Maryland Department of Environment and the county is probably going to do regular checkups to make sure the builder is doing it in the right manner. So there's just different regulations that you want to make sure that that builder follows. I'm not going to go into detail with them, but as you start getting close to building this pier, or if you have questions about your pier, contact me and I can help guide you through that as well. But also lean on the professionals that you're working with, lean on those pier builders, lean on the person that, you know, pulled the permits and did all that stuff from you or for you, so you can really get a good idea of everything is going the right way. And so one last caveat, if you already have an existing pier on your property, it can be a lot easier. So if you're going in and just repairing an old pier that's there, you know, board for board, then it can be fine. If you're looking though to add pilings, or you're looking to add more length to the pier, you're gonna need a pool permit anyways. So when you're repairing a pier, it literally is just repairing to what it was before. So when you're looking at homes maybe that have older piers and you think, oh, we'll just put a new piling here, put a new piling there, it's not as easy as that sounds. A lot of times you're gonna have to pull a new permit for it anyways. All right, so hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you got some more information about how to build a pier in Maryland and kind of the guidelines around it. If you have any questions about this or need any help, make sure you use that contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make your move to Southern Maryland so much easier, and hopefully make your pier building experience a lot easier too. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.